TikTok's ByteDance lets Chinese officials access American user data. Ex-executive. 2 Chinese snooker players banned for life. 8 more suspended in match-fixing scheme. Guangxi asks officials and people to recite Xi Jinping's works, calling it the people's treasure. Big taboo for China. US to share real-time data with Taiwan and Japan via drone fleet link. A new filing in San Francisco Superior Court may have substantiated lawmakers' worst fears about TikTok, as it alleges that the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP, has its grip on the platform's US data. Yintao Yu is a former head of engineering in the US for ByteDance, the parent company of the viral social media platform. He sued his former employer in early May and submitted another update this month. According to Bloomberg, Yu alleged that the CCP has a special committee that watches over all the data on the platform from the company's offices in Beijing. He spoke of the super user credential, or God credentials, that the party holds, allowing it to view all data ByteDance collected, including data from the US. He said, "This was a backdoor to any barrier ByteDance had supposedly installed to protect data from the Chinese Communist Party's surveillance." The suit added that Yu saw records that the party committee accessed the user data of demonstrators, civil rights activists, and even their supporters. What's more concerning is that he claimed the committee supervised Hong Kong users who posted protest-related content on TikTok. Yu said the Chinese authorities used the data to track the locations of Hong Kong users and determine network information, SIM card identifications, and IP addresses. ByteDance is also accused of disseminating propaganda on the Chinese regime's behalf. The complaint says, Yu observed that ByteDance demoted content that expressed support for the protests in Hong Kong, Umbrella Revolution, while it promoted content that expressed criticisms of the protests in Hong Kong. It's not the first time Chinese officials were thought to be among ByteDance's company structure. The Wall Street Journal reported that it even organized a room for a Chinese police cybersecurity team in one of its Beijing offices. The World Snooker Tour sanctioned 10 Chinese snooker players after a disciplinary commission found them guilty of match fixing. 2 of them, Liang Wenbo and Li Hang, were banned for life from the sport. The other 8 were suspended, ranging from 20 months to over 5 years. An independent disciplinary commission found Liang and Li guilty of match fixing in 5 matches in July last year. They also encouraged or pressured other players to fix matches between July and December. Those banned players include big names in the sport. Liang is a former finalist in the UK Championship. Yan Bingtao is the 2021 Masters champion. And Zhao Xintong is the UK Championship winner. The incident is the biggest corruption scandal in billiards and snooker history. Last year, an investigation was opened following an alert from the International Betting Integrity Association and World Snooker's Integrity Unit. The 10 players were suspended while the investigation was ongoing. Jason Ferguson, chairman of governing body the World Professional Billiards and Snooker Association, or WPBSA, said, "This behavior has been recognized as wholly unacceptable by the imposition of 2 lifetime bans from participating in recognized snooker in any way." He added, "Those who try to corrupt sport are constantly trying to find new ways to avoid our monitoring processes, and this outcome must be taken as a lesson to those who think they can avoid detection. If any player is involved in fixing a snooker match, they will be caught and will face severe penalties." During the recent thought-learning campaign in various parts of the Chinese regime, the party committee of the Guangxi Public Security Bureau has launched morning reading and evening recitation activities, which mainly focus on studying Xi Jinping's works. The authorities have also compiled and printed pocketbooks with CCP-related topics to facilitate learning. To this, some netizens said, "It's Guangxi again. A state-owned dictatorship will inevitably produce evildoers. The most cannibal province after the bandits usurped power. No one really believes in Xi Jinping's ideology, but chanting it every day equates to an allegiance ritual. Asking for instructions in the morning and reporting in the evening somewhat reminds people of the rituals and procedures for showing allegiance to Mao Zedong during the Cultural Revolution. Before the CCP's 20th National Congress, Guangxi also had the practice of expressing loyalty to Xi. On April 17, 2022, Guangxi was one of the first provinces to shout the slogan, "Always support the leader, protect the leader, and follow the leader." On February 24th last year, Guangxi's official media, Nanning Daily, stated the pocketbooks praising Xi Jinping would be compiled and distributed to Nanning City's all-level party organizations, and distributed to thousands of households. Later, the newspaper advertised the pocketbooks as an authoritative teaching material for grassroots propaganda and a treasure for the people. However, on May 11th last year, it was reported that Nanning City ordered the recall and destruction of those books. Reporters checked at the time and discovered that the intensive propaganda of Xi's pocketbooks of Nanning Daily had indeed been removed from the internet. The reasons for this remain unknown. The US and its allies, Taiwan and Japan, are to link up their naval reconnaissance drones to share real-time data, highlighting Washington's push to improve coordination in the event of a Chinese attack on Taiwan. As reported by the Financial Times, beginning in 2025, Taiwan will get 4 MQ-9B Sea Guardian drones from US defense contractor General Atomics. MQ-9B Sea Guardian is the maritime-focused sibling of the revolutionary Sky Guardian remotely piloted aircraft system, or RPAS. Sea Guardian is designed to fly over the horizon via satellite for more than 30 hours in all types of weather. It also integrates into civil airspace safely, enabling joint forces and civil authorities to deliver real-time situational awareness anywhere in the maritime domain, day or night. Other features include finding, tracking, and targeting enemy ships and radars. Lieutenant General Stephen Rudder, who retired last year as head of the U.S. Marine Corps forces in the Indo-Pacific, said, "The MQ-9 is a relatively new system to this theater, and we have tried very hard to begin to develop an MQ-9 web of orbits with our partners out here, much like we have in the Middle East, Africa, and other places in Europe. Such capability would be essential in a conflict over Taiwan, in which Chinese surface warships and submarines patrol the island. It might also improve Taiwan's and its neighbors' ability to get a complete real-time picture of the movements of the People's Liberation Army Navy during peacetime in the first island chain, which stretches from Japan to the Philippines." According to 4 people familiar with the MQ-9 deal, Washington would permit the aircraft to be incorporated into the same system that U.S. forces in the region and the Japanese Self-Defense Force would use. It would allow the US, its allies, and partners to view the identical data that the unmanned aerial vehicles collected concurrently, a configuration known as a shared operating picture. One person briefed on the project said, "We will be taking a practical approach towards ensuring that integration is done as quickly as possible." A senior US military official said, "The sharing of data between Japan and Taiwan, between Taiwan and the Philippines, between the US and all 3 of them is so crucial, but it's also one of the big taboos, because China will see it as escalatory.